Guess we're on. Hello, test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. I think it's good. Just give me a sec here. I think it's good. All right. Welcome, guys. It's T-Rex Fridays. What can I say? I took a break for a sec. I am in the middle of writing the next book. Haven't you just finished releasing all your books like next week? It's like, yeah, but I don't know. I got the bug. Besides, I've been looking around. Dude, I've been looking around. I'm doing Minecraft today. We're going with like full Netflix filter. I can see it on the thing here. It's pretty cyberpunky. I was going to talk about that a little bit. I was going to talk about Ghost Dog coming in. I was going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to test a little bit on the mic. Let me know how it sounds for you guys though. Like I said, I'm still fiddling. This thing is so sensitive, man. So sensitive. I actually have to be very careful not to get excited. It's one of the problems I have with recording with you guys online. It's that one sec, I'm moving everything around here to get everything where it's supposed to go. There, pop that out so I can at least look at the chat. Yeah, get that out of here. One of my issues is that I have tinnitus. So the military really did it broke me, but not in the way that most military guys get broke. Usually it's a broken back, broken knees, your joints are messed. For me, it was the hearing. Like the communications, the CCR, Communications Control Room. That was the top secret Faraday cage shielded space that I had to work in. Now, because we didn't want those goddamn commies stealing all of our information, what we have to do is you have to close it off from the airflow system of the rest of the ship. So what you need to do, because all the equipment generates so much heat, is you have to put chillers in there, air conditioning units. And they weren't small air conditioning units. They were probably, the AC compressors that are usually outside of every house, the ones that are about the size of like a washing machine. We had 2 of those literally above your head all day, and they would blast 100 decibels. 100 fucking decibels, man. And we didn't think of anything of it at the time, but they told you, like, no hearing protection. You're not allowed to wear earplugs. You're not allowed to wear a headset. You're not allowed to wear anything. Because there was probably 100 pieces of equipment, and everything beeps. Everything beeps and sends you an alert if something goes wrong. So they needed you to have your hearing open to listen to all of it. The problem is, after a length of time, it really kills your hearing. So pretty much every naval communicator has tinnitus. And I've got tinnitus. I've actually been struggling to kind of get that properly diagnosed because, and I probably should, because Veterans Affairs actually they used to give you medical pensions for stuff like this, but now it's just a payout. So as much as USAID right now in the States is doing all of this crap about, one sec. As much as they're doing all of this crap about, there it is, all this crap about killing waste and grift and all this stuff, like there really is some, liberals really did screw over the military guys. So there's a little history about me. I kind of like these ones, by the way. That little 10 minutes before anybody shows up in the Discord to chime in and see how everything's going. It's just kind of, it gives me like 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes to talk about anything you want to, and it's just, I don't know. It feels more intimate. It feels more like, what's the word I'm looking for? The vibes. Kino. Full Kino. Anyway, so the point of that is I have a hard time regulating the volume of my voice, even with a direct monitor, which I have in here so you can hear how you sound. And that's why you'll notice during most of my longer streams, at some point it's like, is he yelling into his mic? And it kind of is. I just can't hear. Interesting, huh? There's a little bit of lore for you. Let me get this going. There she is. There she is. Big question is, where in the fuck is the game? There she is. Everything's here. Good, good, good. I see Jack in chat. Good, man. Good to see you. I haven't gotten into this like hard for a while. I think it's time. I just feel it. It's the dead of winter in Canada. Dead of winter in Canada. Oh my god. It's so January, February, and depending on how bad the winter is, also March is just brutal outside. Like the entire thing outside my house is like a giant wind tunnel. It's -10, which I think in freedom units is something like, what's the freedom units? The -10. Is somebody able to convert? So I want to say, because 32 degrees is 0 in the States, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like 10 degrees. Yeah, 10 degrees, -10 around there. Giant wind tunnel outside, so it feels like -20. And it's just like the need to go out and do things is just gone. Plus the fact that the Canadian economy is the way it is. So like restaurants are all closing up. We lost our pub. Our local watering hole that the girl and I used to go to, it's gone. It's closed. A lot of places are closed. There's a bunch of new ones. But, you know, you kind of have to like, oh, I better get there before they close. Which is kind of annoying. Let me see, how have I done? Why not write another? Oh, I can actually update this. Oh yeah, the build. Okay. Where to place it? So I'm gonna build like a monolith there. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it yet. But make the spawn chunks home. That's the plan on this one. Yeah, I mean, go ahead and listen. Oh, while I'm at it, I had some new Epidemic Sound vibes. I wanted to see how they worked. Was it synth or was it? I guess it was the vaporwave stuff. I might get DMCA'd for this one. I might. So we will see. Okay, I think the volume on that one is good. I got to turn it down just a bit though. A little too quiet. Let me know if that audio level's good. So I'm trying to build up a nice little vaporwave synth playlist again. Mostly because I want to start adding it to videos. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm into this. I'm into the cyberpunk thing right now. I just love it. Like with the book, when I'm really enjoying it. And I was realizing like, actually, you know what? Let's do some news. Let's do some news. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That'll work for me. Let's do the news. It's neat, interesting things in the world of men, outside of politics, of course. So Devin Erickson, if you don't know, he's I want to call him a friend of mine. We're in acquaintances right now. It's Theft of Fire. I've talked about the book. It's probably one of my favorites. I guess he's been running the awards circuit to see what's worth doing. And it turns out I've been doing some searching myself because I'm like, dude, I should probably use some of those. It'd be great marketing. Problem is, like, there is no category for what the dog walker would be. That's mostly just like female dominated literary. So like there's no chance I'm gonna be able to compete. Oh, that's good. That's a 5. That's a 5. So there's no chance I can compete with the Colleen Hoovers of the world and that. It's just I don't know. I don't see myself doing well where women kind of dominate the genre. And that's why Dog Walker, I want it to do well. Like, everybody wants their books to do well, and I think it will do well. It's a bit too loud. All right, I got it. There we go. I want it to do well. The problem is the marketing it. Like, how do I market this kind of book? It doesn't really have a genre. Literary fiction, I guess, auto fiction, but most people that are doing that are either guys who are like incels with power fantasies. Like, I've talked about it before. There was what the hell was his name? Can't remember the author's names, but there was 2 guys. One is an Asian guy, the expat, and he talks about this, the greatest. It's like Black Mirror, or Mr. Robot or whatever. Greatest hacker ever. Pulled into a thing, super neurotic. Nobody likes him. It's like Neo, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. Another one was like a neurotic guy trying to do like an episode of Dream On, and I'm like, So the cyberpunk one, I think, is better from like a marketing standpoint. All right, so what I need is... God, we know what we need. Actually, do you know what I really do need? I need a storage area. That's what I should build so I can at least organize this stuff. Let's take a look through our materials. What do I have that I can use? You know what? We can... Let's build something super earthy. Go with the earthy vibes. I think we can do that. Oh, and I want to go get some more tough because I hear that they've updated tough so it looks nice and it has like multiple blocks to go with it. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we'll save all of our gray stuff for the monolith that we're going to build later. Oh, wait. You? Where else is stuff? Yeah, because this is just ridiculous. Okay, we definitely need more tough. We'll make a quick trip to the downstairs. See what we can find. Anyways, so Devin's been running that, and I guess somebody nominated his book for this award. It's a very... Most awards are kind of like just small. They're almost like they're their own business model, where guys are like, yeah, we gotta... So they kind of have like the same problem, or I guess the same challenges that... I don't know if I like that one. But yeah, anyways, aside from that, somebody nominated him from this award, and then they changed their terms of service and said that they're kicking him out of the contest, which was weird. He's like, what the hell are you guys talking about? I've never heard of you. Well, somebody nominated you, but you've broken our terms of service. It's like a Sad Puppies thing. Remember Sad Puppies from back in the day? Yeah, they're doing that thing. The whole, he's not woke enough, we got to kick him out of the thing. And so a lot of the authors ended up pulling their books out of that contest. And the cynic in me is like, dude, that would be, you make up some like fake award thing, set up some woke op, and then, you know, make a big marketing push out of everybody leaving it. And then it becomes like a great circle jerk for marketing. That's the cynic in me, which if that's the case, kudos to him. I actually kind of respect him more for like the hustle. All right. But yeah. And then I'm watching him and he's doing it. He's actually doing like really well from it too, the sales. It's just funny how in 2025, the we're so back age, we're still doing the whole, oh, the woke mob's coming to cancel you. Let's buy this book and teach them a lesson. Teach those woke feminists a lesson. I was like, good for him. But I can't really do that with the dog walker. Like, it's just, it's one of those books that really is going to have to stand with its own merits. Having said that, the funny thing, and my girl actually is reading it now. My girl never reads my book. She doesn't care about that. I don't need it. But I'm like, oh, that was kind of nice. And so I'm like, look, I don't want your feedback, but just let me know, like, how would this resonate or not with a female audience? Because she does a lot of reading herself. She reads a lot. She's the one who got me to read Colleen Hoover to see what the best books out there are right now to compete with. Which I'm like, oh, okay. Colleen's not great. I read Veracity, or Verity. I think Verity is what it's called. And that new one that's caused all the drama was, what the hell is it? Never Again or something. It's something about an abusive husband. I don't know. And the chick that's the star in it, she started a whole bunch of drama with the main character saying that he was actually an abusive asshole in real life. It's actually kind of a really funny story. I should almost do an episode on it because I think you guys will get a kick out of it. So Ryan Reynolds' wife is the main character from it, and she accused the director guy and the actor for abusing her. But then the guy showed up with receipts showing it was all just bullshit. Like, you know, you didn't do any of that. None of that happened. And so the internet's kind of like deciding who's the good guy in this one, right? Taylor Swift and a bunch of other people like piled on him at first, but now they're taking his side. It really is a case of we're so back. Like the Me Too accusation. Instead of canceling the guy is actually doing much better off. I wish I could remember his fucking name though. I know we dunked on him in the sphere for a while there. But it turns out he's actually the hero of this story, and we should have been backing him. Great. Anyway, so that's like the competition. So, and she's like, yeah, I think girls will like it. The plot's good. It's definitely crass, which I also talked with a friend of mine, the editor, who helped me write the blurb, and she said, yeah, it's definitely guy coded. But I think it would be good in this, like, for girls that like to rubberneck. Like, I wonder what the guys are doing in their thing. Kind of like the same vibe as those girls that used to read all the red pilled stuff from Reddit. Justin Baldoni, thank you very much, that guy. All right, how many do we need? I guess we'll just finish off our inventory here, and then we'll take this and we'll build with what we got. I probably should bring some stone with me, though. So there's a chance. There's a chance that it like catches on to a small niche girl crowd. Because right now, dude, Substack has taught me, oh my god. I don't want to like name anybody in specific because it's not about that. It's more about the trend. It's that nobody's a very good writer. I don't consider myself a good writer. I consider myself an aspiring good writer. But yeah, people are just bad. Like every girl has a story about, it's like Amy Schumer's humor. Hey, you know, talks about her vagina for 20 minutes. Every article that they write when they want to have their aspiring writing career is sucking dick for 60 seconds. It's just very cringe. And most of the guys are just writing, you know, their own version of fanfic, which whatever. For all I know, it could just be like, I just don't have the taste for it. And it actually is a pretty awesome genre, and I should probably get into it, but yeah. So that's the competition. Now, where am I going with this? I don't know. Hopefully where I'm going with this is that people are starved for something that's more enjoyable and something that's engaging and entertaining and well written. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, the situation is Amber Heard 2.0. It is. The funniest part, and this is like my girl was telling me last night, I asked her about it and she just went off. It was like her asking me about what's this Andrew Tate thing, and then I get like the 30-minute rant. But so then the latest one was Ryan Reynolds emailed him his apology letter. He's like, just put this out, make an apology, make amends, and it's all good. And everybody knows where that goes. You don't apologize to the woke mob, you just get canceled for it. And so he's like, he posted on his thing anyway, he's like, look what these idiots want me to do. Look what they want me to talk about. And it was pretty funny. They want me to say this? This is ridiculous. I thought it was funny. I actually kind of want to go read it. I am just curious. Mostly to see how well he handled the attempt at a public tar and feathering. I think it'll be good. So I don't have, and for me, I don't have this kind of drama to work with. I don't. I could. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do it where it wouldn't sound manufactured, because I mean it kind of would be, which really has a good chance of backfiring, and I don't want to do that. But do I have an axe? An axe or wood? It would really be nice. All right, what do I want to do here? You know what I'll do? I'll take a stack of spruce with me so we can have some wood too. Just some browns to tie everything together. It's going to be somewhat monochromatic, so I'm hoping the green of the moss helps. So that's always the big question, right? Like, yeah, the book can be the greatest thing ever, and it could not be. But if it's not marketed well, it's gonna go to shit. And I got the newsletter, which is what I know, and it's gonna be consistent. It's gonna be good. But that next step stuff, it's actually, I'm finding it interesting, because it's like, how do you thrive? Like, what's the next step? Because let's face it, even what's his face, Cernovich knew, like the sphere, it's a limited appeal. You're only ever going to get so big with it. Even Myron's learning that the hard way, which makes me laugh. He's finding out that nobody cares about this, and now he's like struggling. All he does now is rants about the Jews.
Yeah,
making me laugh.
Give it the Jews.
Oh, I know. Marty, dude, actually, you're one I'm happy to see. I like your levity. I like the fact that you're like, how can I demonetize every one of these streams? It actually gives me like, keeps me on my toes.
That's right.
What's life over there in above 0 degrees Celsius land? With all your warmth.
Dude, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning and I was like, what the hell? I had to turn my air conditioner on. It got that hot down here.
Son of a bitch. I hate you so much. Everybody in my building has the heat blasted so much I have to open the window a little bit, but it's like, it's freezing out there. Like, I don't even want to go outside until May.
it was 76 degrees, and I was like, what the hell? So, and normally we don't even keep it that low during summertime. We'll keep it like on 78. You know, I don't know, we're cheap or puff
Right.
rednecks or whatever. But so anyways, I got it, like bumped it down to 74, turned it on. Dang. Yeah.
God,
I'm
I gotta
sorry,
get down there. Gotta get down there. I just hear you, man. I'll tell you right now, in Canada, Americans don't have good like promotional material. Up here, there's like first off, I didn't realize half of Ontario defines itself as we're not American, and so everything we do that America doesn't makes us better, which apparently means, you know, migrating a whole bunch of Indian diaspora, but whatever. Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
But then I hear about you guys, and you're supposed to be part of the country that's like, oh, that's where all the poor inbred rednecks are from. And then you talk about your quality of life. I'm like, dude, I would murder 15 people to have that quality of life here.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I mean, really. And then like even to see like other parts of the country, like we're talking about like a ribeye is like $20 a pound, and I mean at the most it's like $12 a pound here at my local store. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I'm talking about like a good like inch and a half thick with good marbling. Yeah, beautiful.
What can I say?
Yeah.
The thing that blew me away is when I found out chicken was like cheaper than dirt in the States. I'm like, what?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you guys treat chicken like poor people food. Up here, chicken is like, oh, I guess we do kilos. So I gotta, it's like $16 a kilo. So I guess $8 a pound for just chicken.
Oh my God. That's what I get, like chuck eyes or like cheap ribeyes, like the not quality cut. Yeah.
Oh, dude, if you want meat here, it's probably most likely $12 to $20 a pound. Now, granted, I'm sure it's a little bit cheaper in Alberta, but it's like, yeah, not even close. Where do I want to build this? Sorry, I'm trying to make decisions here while we're chatting up about it. And that's not even including like the inflation thing. Everybody's all forgot about that, but like that 20% inflation, that predominantly hit us in food. Food bills have doubled in the last 2 years.
Everywhere. Same here in Europe.
Yeah. I guess not in the States though. They're like, oh, whatever. As long as the food costs the same, everything else we can live with. You know what? This is going to be the communal area. I'm going to build the storage over here in my little space. That's what we're going with. Yeah, the whole thing. Even now, like Costco trips. Costco trips are like $400 for us.
What?
And we don't buy a lot. We're not going crazy. We don't buy anything processed other than like a can of beans. Like we'll get like cases of those if we don't feel like making ours from scratch. But like depression level hipster food quality and $400 a trip.
And how long does it last? For
A week or two.
What?
Two weeks if we go crazy. Because my girl has like, she always gets like 6 or 7 cases of tomatoes during the summer and then cans them. So if we go hard on the preserves, we can probably stretch it to 2 weeks. But other than that, it's like every week.
God damn it.
And it's at the point now where, so I'll buy caseloads of Celsius, like energy drinks, because they're great. And I get liquid caffeine from, I order liquid caffeine, Zyn, Race Tams, and all this stuff from online. And that stuff's like cheaper than food.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I got the Celsius packs. I finally tried them for the water. Man, they're awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
So good. Yeah. Because I got where I don't know, I got tired of the Celsius drinks. I don't know what it was. Something, maybe just the flavors, but the things where you add them to the water is better to me than the regular Celsius.
We don't get those here. I so want them. I want them so bad.
The
dude, I still have the Skittles drinks that I bought from the States and I went down to Buffalo. Like, we're due for another trip one of these days, and I kind of want to go and just expatriate to Buffalo, and I've been down there. It looks like it was decimated. It's got like Rust Belt vibes, or a bunch of just like dead end factories there. But I go there and I'm like, oh my God, it's like manna from heaven.
So
Do I put? I guess I'll put it here.
If you come down here and like, just Florida or anywhere along the coast, like you like water, don't you?
Yeah, water's good.
in, like, near a bay or a beach or something.
Oh,
Like, I mean,
ocean
there's so
stuff.
many-
I mean, I've lived near the ocean for most of my life until
Yeah.
here and when I was raised in BC in Alberta. But other than those two places, I've been beside the ocean. So yeah, I'm all for it.
I mean, there's just so many like just beautiful places and like quaint little towns, and like especially you get around like the the coast of South Carolina, and then you have like the huge live oak trees with like the Spanish moss hanging off of them. I mean, and then the perfect climate. So, and even places in Florida like that. And there's some in Alabama and Mississippi too, actually. We got some coast.
South Carolina's been my little made up dream spot. I don't know if there's better or worse or how it compares. Just the things I've seen, it reminds me of old British parts of Canada, like Victoria, BC. I assume that South Carolina was part of like the 13 colonies, right?
Yeah, and I mean, part of those, they were like the first settlements in the whole country, like Charleston, stuff like that, places similar. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's what that reminds me of, is that old school feeling. I'm like, dude, if it's got that old European country vibe to it, I would be all for it. But I know nothing about the place other than that. And my girl, all she looks at is like, will the dogs die? Like, there's, I guess, black rattlers or something, and she's all terrified about those. And I'm like, pretty sure they don't just live in the city.
Yeah.
That's like saying I don't want to come to Canada so a moose doesn't run over my... Like, when are you going to see a moose? Really?
Not to be crude, but how old are your dogs?
Oh, they're 13. I know where you're going with that.
Yeah. Why is she worried about something else? They're gonna, they're kind
Yeah,
of...
why do girls worry unnecessarily about everything?
They're living forever.
Fair point.
Why can't they just be cool like the rest of us?
But yeah, we've been to a few places in South Carolina. I'm not a huge Myrtle Beach fan. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't get the whole thing. But
what's Myrtle Beach?
It's just the most touristy place, I guess you can go on the coast. We went to Beaufort, South Carolina. My daughter, when she was like real, younger, she did some modeling there, and we did a shoot. It was at this giant house, and it's called the Castle. And it was pretty cool because it was I think like a doctor's house. Mm-hmm. But anyways, he hid all of his gold before the Civil War broke out. Like there was like a building out back, and he hid it like under the boards there.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and they actually used this house as a hospital, and that was where they threw the dead bodies, and was like the morgue. So all the dead bodies were on top of his gold, and nobody knew it. And so, anyways, when he came back after the war, like, he was able to fix up everything and pay off everything that he owed from the war. But it was a pretty cool story. Like, if you look up that house, man, it's crazy.
I can imagine. Dude, just the idea of, I hate these stupid things. You know what? I think I'm done. I gotta take this I don't care about getting... You have to take it with an axe, or...
No, you need to break the heart. Where
there,
you got the
done.
Where you got the amber from?
Yeah. I just took everything out, I don't care.
Underneath it, the heart underneath it, or just the block above. In order for it to work, there need to be white oak on top and white oak underneath. And then it's finished.
Well, there's nothing left. Tired of that guy. Every time I want to go to sleep.
Something tells me Ryan is grumpy.
I'm always grumpy.
Yeah, he's in Canada. Wait till you meet American Ryan. I mean, I bet he's so much fun.
Dude, first thing I'm gonna do, like, I don't even know what the brand is, but like, I'm gonna buy a Skidoo, but not a Skidoo. Whatever you guys have that's called Skidoos. Because I guess that's a Canadian brand.
Like a jet ski, or what is this Skidoo?
Snowmobile, jet ski, all of those types of fun things. Quads. I think Skidoo is made by Bombardier, which is like a Canadian or a Quebecer company. It's subsidized pretty heavily.
Yeah, we know Bombardier, whatever. Yeah, I mean, you don't see them very often down here, but I've seen them before.
Yeah, well, I remember when Rollo burned down his last one.
Yeah.
And I was
So,
mentioning, oh yeah, you should get a skidoo, and he laughs. He was like, "That's what like the poor people get," or something. I can't remember how he worded it, but it was like, oh, just like the strongest jab at Canada. I was like, damn it.
You poor Canadian, you pleb.
Yeah, buy a real one. What am I looking for? There we go. I'm gonna get the storage thing going here. Yeah, it's just I miss like because right now I'm doing fine. I'm not doing bad, but the fact that our girl like between us, we're earning probably like $250,000 a year between the two of us. Why are we sitting here having these like concerns? At this point, isn't this what wealthy is supposed to be?
Right, it's supposed to, yeah.
Yeah. Why am I sitting here going, oh, geez, if we have to buy a new place, that's gonna be like. And so many people seem comfortable with that. They like living like peasants. I don't understand. None of it makes sense. And then the dog thing, or the Dodge thing with their US aid. Oh, I've never been so happy to watch so many people suffer in my life.
Yeah.
Oh wait, one sec. Johnny Trejo, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, couch and everyone. How is the liquid coffee with G Fuel? I get a case of it, and I'm tempted to try it with liquid coffee. Every pump of the liquid caffeine is like a Red Bull. So if you're starting to add pumps of that to like G Fuel, just caution. Test it out. It's like Zyn. Don't just grab a 6 milligram one and then think, oh, this is great. Like me. Learn from my mistakes.
Learn from me. I almost didn't pick up my kids from school. Like I was 20 minutes late, and my only kid was, my kid was the only one left. And they're like, "Do you have a dad? Where's your dad?" Yeah. Oh, dude, that was rough. I sweated like just through my clothes, like I'd run a marathon. It was wow.
Yeah, well, and here's the worst part too. When I first tried it, I just like first thing in the morning, I'm like, all right, let's try it out. I didn't have breakfast. I just finished my coffee. I lasted. It says, and I read the instructions. They're like, all right, put it under your lip, and it's supposed to last for up to an hour. I lasted like, dude, always read the fucking manual. Everybody knows this.
No, everybody doesn't.
Well, either way, it's probably best I did.
Yeah.
Because I found out after like 10 minutes, I started feeling, I guess they call it Nick sick or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started feeling that. And then lightheaded. I still feel lightheaded. So when I did one this morning, 5 minutes. As soon as I start feeling lightheaded, I take it out and put it on the thing. And like I'll try it again throughout the day maybe. But I don't know how these guys are like sitting here just sucking that back all day. It's like, what is wrong with your body that this doesn't kill you?
Oh, I know, just constantly in and out. You're like RFK Jr. just putting them down like candy.
Yeah. And he has the balls to tell us that we need to get healthy. You son of a bitch. Oh, right. I was going to see what Tuft can do.
Like he's a Canadian or something.
It's the Kennedys. It's hard to kill Kennedys. Like, you really do need CIA ops. Otherwise, they just don't die.
That's right. Yeah, look at him. He's got like cancer of the throat or something. And can't talk right and still kicking.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Look at these. They did add stuff to Tuft blocks. Interesting. We'll go with the polished ones. We'll play around. I'm doing some experiments as we're going through here. And I do need a thing of...
Bisexual?
Yeah, like that. Only not. But, the dog thing. Yeah, the Dodge thing with the US aid. I watched that and I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And I get it. It's just, like, it's not a huge amount of the budget, but the symbolic nature of, like, just getting rid of everybody who's grifting money off of the taxpayer funds. And I was like, that's awesome. And then in Canada, our version is Global Affairs Canada, GAC. What they did, what somebody found out is somebody started deleting records from it. So they can't search. And I was like, well, that's just such the Canadian thing.
Yep. Just leave it under there. Nobody will notice.
Well, because I know there was huge funds that you could get as long as you weren't a white guy in Canada. They love diversity stuff.
Oh God, yes.
Yes,
I am black.
Well, dude, I don't know how to like. I might just call myself native. I think that might work if I can get away with that. Because like, if they're not gonna stop ruining the economy, you might as well get in on it, right?
Dude, if you went to the tanning bed for a month, you can get whatever you want. Really. You're welcome.
Yeah. Plus, watching our guy, oh man, everything. He'll go after everything except for Indian migration. That's the one thing. He's doing the same thing Trudeau did, where he's dressed up in all the sarongs and that, and he goes into the temples and he's like, hey, you know, you guys are the future of the country. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Dude, I have no hope for that guy. Like, he won't even be like Trump Jr. or Trump Light. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, he's an actor. I mean, you've said it before.
Yeah, he's a professional politician. That's all he's done his whole life was politics. Yep. Which sucks, because I'm like, that means I thought he would have his finger on the pulse, but no, he just he's doing what everybody does. We have a thing here called red Tories. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but a Tory is a conservative. It's like an old-timey term. And red Tories, red Tories are kind of what you would guys call a rhino. They're conservative, but they seem to like being a liberal, like an uglier, less polished version of a liberal.
Yeah.
Now, we had two of them. One guy was Andrew Scheer. He was the former head of the party. He got booted out because he tried to run for prime minister, but he had dual citizenship. And everybody's like, wait a minute. And he's like, well, if I win, I'll renounce my American citizenship. Don't worry about that. It's like, oh, thank God you committed to the cause, sir. So he got booted. And then this new guy, Aaron O'Toole, took over. And he kind of looks like Jim Gaffigan. And his whole thing was, let's do just what Trudeau did, only I'm uglier and less charismatic with less media behind me. And he didn't win. And I thought, and the assumption here was that Poilievre kind of noticed that. He kind of, got in good with the truckers, and everybody's like, oh, okay, he understands, he gets it. And then he rode the wave of like, I hate Trudeau, don't you guys? And that'll get you far.
Oh yeah.
Just like hating the same people. But now we're at the point that like everybody hates him. Like, we all get it. Like, now what? He goes, all right, so I'm going to do the same policies that he does, only competent. And I'm like, fuck.
Yay.
So then I gave my retainer to the immigration lawyer to the States, and we'll see what happens.
Ooh. What is a retainer?
You pay them, so like if you're going to be using their legal services, you give them a deposit, kind of. And then whatever your billing starts as, it comes out of that.
Oh, like a retainer for a lawyer or something. Yeah.
No, it's literally what it is. It's literally a retainer for a lawyer. He's an immigration lawyer.
Yeah. Dumbass.
Yeah. And I asked Chesty for some things here with the American ones to see if I know, and it's the same thing. Like, they bill in 6-minute increments, same as him. So a way to discourage you from just wasting their time unless you actually have something you need them to do.
Yeah.
So she gave me a bunch of American legal documents. I got to read through all that stuff, and I've been putting it off because the book stuff here, I wanted to get that launched first. But to see how immigration law goes, to see what the requirements are, and then once I got that together, put together the equivalent of a CV, bring it to them, and then we refine the pathway from there. So it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it, but like everything, it just ends up being a bunch of more work.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, everything worthwhile is, I guess.
I guess so. Just sucks. All you had to do was be born, and you guys get it. I have to go earning it. Why can't it be like one of those H-1B guys who just walks in?
I don't know. Really.
Like an Ian Miles Chong. Why can't I be the new Chong?
Oh, God. No, please don't.
The funniest part of that guy, too, he's like the ugliest man you've ever seen, and then, like, it's just everything about his face screams, like, dude, if I could throw somebody in an oven, it would be that visage.
You could just such a punchable face, and it looks like it wouldn't even hurt your fist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Stripper has it right. The last time anybody in Canada cared about citizenship for leadership. That's true. Yeah, the new guy, Carney. So he's just a guy right now. He's like an Elon Musk. He just was advising Trudeau on stuff, and the rumor is he's going to win the party leadership vote. Everybody assumes he will because CBC is talking to him like he's the prime minister. The other politicians are talking to him like everybody's talking like he's already the prime minister. He has like triple citizenship. He's an Irish. He has Irish citizenship, British citizenship, and Canadian citizenship. He hasn't lived in Canada for like 10 years. And then the only time he came back was to run the Bank of Canada and sell all of our gold. Which I don't know why that makes me irritated. Like, I don't know much about why you would want a gold reserve, but I know like getting rid of it is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, it's just like maybe it had some sense to it, but it just doesn't look good. It's like the optics are bad. And it's like,
Yeah.
do we own gold or not own gold? Hey, why don't we own gold?
Yeah. Sold it all.
Well,
570 tons or something like that. I was like,
Whoa.
it used to be what your currency was determined by. The value of your currency, how much gold did you have?
well, yeah, prior to the gold standard, that much I get.
Yeah,
But I guess
that's
the
what
reason
you
they
had.
sold it is because they wanted to switch over to that, that bank crypto coin that they've been trying to do? That conspiracy theory? They were trying to do one of those. But it was so unpopular, even amongst like liberals, because a lot of boomers are liberals. So they don't even know. They're like, I don't trust this fancy computer money. Give me my old cash. So
Yeah,
that
but
kind
the
of
fact
died.
But the fact that he was able to get rid of all the gold, or sell all the gold, just means that the boomers didn't know jack all shit to begin with.
Well, that's true. Well, I didn't even know. Like, nobody knew about it. It never got any press. You had to actually physically, like, who would think to go, hey, I wonder what Canada's gold reserves are right now, and then go look that up. That's the only way you're gonna find out.
But how can you sell a shit ton of gold like that without anybody knowing, especially your own country's gold? Like,
Yeah, well,
what the-
everybody knew. Just none of the news stations reported on it. None of the political grifter types talked about it. Just kind of went under the radar in 2024.
Yeah,
And the only reason
I
it came up is because I was like, somebody was having an argument with some other buddy on Twitter, and I was reading it, and they're talking about gold, and I'm like, I wonder what Canada's gold's at. Like, literally the most random search ever, and I'm like, oh dear.
Zero.
Yeah. And everybody's talking about, oh, he's really good. He used to be he used to be the CEO of the Bank of Canada. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing, man.
No. If you ask Larry, bankers are pieces of shit. Never trust a banker, so.
Yeah.
Especially one who sells all your country's gold. Nope.
Well, that's the thing, too. He has no citizenship. He hasn't lived here. His citizenship is elsewhere. He's got like a third Canadian to him. And he's trying to run as like a prairie boy from Edmonton, which I'm like, I'm from Edmonton originally. Like, fuck you. He's not an Albertan at all. Like, there's nothing about him. But then I see Marty with his $10 ribeyes, and I'm like, man, fuck this.
Well, Marty, you've motivated Ryan to diminish, oh no, how should I put it, to revise his expatriating,
Yeah.
to speed it up to half the time. Instead of 5 years, he's gonna do it in 2.5.
Well, it'll probably still be 5 altogether. I'm assuming 5, but I'm just, as time permits, just get done what I can get done. Because, yeah, it actually is a lot of stuff to deal with here. The big one, too, is because the girl, if she moves down, the tricky part is to get her the ability to work as well. So, like, my visas, there's only a few options that give her automatic rights to work. She might have to come here and not come to the States and not work, which puts a little thing in it, cutting our income in half. Depending on where we live, that could be a big deal. It could be a non-deal. It could be a non-starter. I don't know. So that's another part.
You could go like the rest of the manosphere and get a second wife. Like Mori just mentioned, he has a sister, and apparently she's modeling, so that means she's probably pretty enough.
Dude, why in the hell would I want a second wife? The green card ones? Yeah.
And why not directly Mori's sister, you know?
Yeah.
Why not go for the top?
So you mean
Go
to
for the
tell
top.
me I can have a second wife, deal with the whole fallout between that and the girl, and have Marty as a brother? Like, my God, man, you're making this sound better and better every day. That's horrific. Like, Marty, I like you, man, but like, brother?
Does it get any
Nah.
better?
I don't think I could do that with you, buddy.
Yeah, you can move to the trailer park too.
Used to date a girl from a trailer park back when I was a kid in high school.
Oh,
She did gymnastics as a kid. She ended up cheating on me with some 40-year-old dude with like a gray beard, used to sell drugs. 16-year-old me thought it was horrific. Worst day of my life.
The most cliche thing there is.
Yeah.
poor teenage Ryan.
All right, so I don't want to do this. So I got to do some math. 1, 2, 3.
And it's
Well, he's getting better, Marty. He's getting better. Like the new R.S. Stone books, he's being selected to be the next best-selling author in the running for a Nobel Literature Prize.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, if I could get one of them, like internet, like what's the good one? Isn't there a Nobel Prize for literature? If I can get one of those, like I won't, because I have to be the last chick that I know of that won that is the one whose parents died in like the Maoist famines, and she had to write a book on that. And I'm like, I can't compete with that. Like, what can I say? Canadian hardship victimization story. I'm not DEI enough to win that one. That would help.
Well, you could be. You're half and half of everything. So.
I don't fit the mold. That's the other problem I have. This is just like a general marketing problem, but you notice how everybody has like an archetype? Like there's the guy with the they'll always have the beard and like the military fatigue stuff, and they're kind of like the American patriot archetype. And then Rollo's got like his 80s rock star patriot type, and then Rich Cooper's got the bald guy with the beard and the nice car, like the wealthy white guy vibe to it. I don't fit any archetype. I don't fit the Canadian archetype, where I look like that guy, you know, dressed in flannel doing the things. I don't fit that, like, any of those American archetypes. I don't fit the business archetype. I'm literally Tigger. Like, there's only one, which makes it really hard to fit into any box and glean off of that audience.
You'll fit in down here. Don't worry. We'll find you somebody.
Oh, no. As a person, yes. I just mean, like, marketing. Like, what could you say? Oh, he reminds me of this type of... Like, there's none of that. What am I going to fit in with? What do I even look like?
In other words, writing is so boring, he makes watching paint dry look exciting.
Not boring, unique. And I mean that in a bad way. He's like, I got like a little bit of redneck to me. I got like, you know, I raised on a ranch, ride horses, wear denim, that kind of stuff, but I don't look like that guy. I have like hipster things. I love avocado toast and vaporwave, but I don't look like those soy guys either. Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't fit.
Oh, believe me, dude, I don't fit in here. Like, I mean, of course, I'm redneck to a degree, but I'm like uppity and I'm like snobby, and everybody thought that, you know, I thought mine didn't stink in school, and which, I mean, maybe it did a little bit. Maybe it was a little snobby, but
I mean, I didn't sleep with my cousin, so that put me above head and shoulders.
That's right.
Yeah, so you get it though. You get the whole thing where it's just like, yeah, it doesn't quite fit.
I don't really like country music. I mean, I like some of the older stuff, like Johnny Cash, but yeah.
Johnny Cash, like George Jones is my jam.
Yep. I like good alcoholic country music.
Yeah. Twang. Wife killed your dog, took your truck, like that kind of shit. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton, even. The fact that she made her whole career is I have the biggest boobs in Nashville, and she still managed to make it classy. I don't know how she did that.
Yeah, she's still alive and kicking with her giant tits.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I still think it's hilarious how her big thing is playing yakety sax on the saxophone at her concerts. Or that time, was it Metallica that brought her on tour once? It was something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
It was somebody. It was some heavy death metal band, and they thought Dolly Parton was just the coolest, and so they brought her with them on tour. And it was like, and everybody was like, "This is one of the best tours I've ever seen in my life." Like the metal fans just loved her.
That's funny.
That's when you know you're big. It's like a Mr. Rogers for country music. Dolly, how could you not love her? Oh yeah, good Caffeine. Manosphere Bookworm.
Slipknot.
Oh, was it Slipknot?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Like, how funny is that? Slipknot of all the metal bands, like the most.
Oh, they're kind of country. Well, I mean, you know, they grew up in Iowa or whatever, so I mean, you can see it. I mean, I guess.
I mean, I can't see it, but that's the joy of it. Slipknot.
Yeah.
And Dolly Parton was like, "Yeah, it sounds like a good plan." How awesome is that?
Right, these guys that look like they're out of a horror movie. Yeah.
And I did write Jolene, which slaps hard. Yeah, I'm impressed Dolly can play guitar with those nails. Yeah. Oh, was it Slayer? Jack's saying it's Slayer. Either way, Slayer, Slipknot.
Yeah, it might have been Slayer you were referring to, but I just typed in Dolly Parton metal band tour and metal band, and apparently last year there was an announcement that she was working on an album together with Slipknot as well.
Oh, so she's done multiple death metal tours. That's awesome.
No, they're working on an album. She's working on an album
God,
together
she's
with
like
Slipknot.
90 now too. Yeah.
That is awesome.
I think like
Taylor Swift, eat your heart out.
her tits are like 2 giant pacemaker batteries. I was just keeping her going.
Yeah, that's
Power plant.
some kind of longevity serum. Serum is inside of those things. She's been slowly sapping it away.
Yeah. That blood of children that she puts in there every night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now that I'm fixing my hair, I feel like I'm losing myself. Aw, Jack. See, but that's the thing, Jack. You got like the blazer with the rolled up sleeves and the long hair, and you smoke cigarettes that weird way, like Hans Gruber. The Euro trash is like a thing. You can rock that.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait a minute. The girls eat that up over here.
Yeah. Oh, they did. Didn't, I think he went down there. No, it was Red Hawk went up there with him to party, and they ate up. He dressed like he just fucking guy. I still love his story, man. He's like, I wore a cowboy hat and boots and a big belt, like almost like a cartoonish version of what you would think a Texan looks like. He's like from Michigan or something. He comes out like that. They're like, wow, an American.
An American. It's a real American, y'all. Everybody come here and look.
Like, what am I supposed to go there dressed in hockey gear? Like, what the hell?
Oh man, just giant maple leaf flag and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys don't wear ice skates as you walk? Skill issue, I guess.
For whatever reason, despite Ryan grew up in a ranch, I have my doubts he can pull off the cowboy vibe.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I was mostly working. Like, I've had a few Stetsons over my life. I had a horse. My horse's name was Caesar. It's a Palomino, which is like the very like generic working horse. But I never wore Levi's. I always wore Wranglers.
Oh, well,
Which I don't even know if American has those or not, because they were just the cheaper ones at Mark's Workwear World. I remember a lot of the summers, my buddy and I would just like toss hay bales all summer, swath fields and that stuff. So it was like, yeah, it's not cowboy like, oh, he lives in a nice truck and he does the things. Like, no, that guy was like chasing cows and throwing hay bales and like actual farm work or actual ranch work.
Then you have tractors or something to do the heavy lifting?
For the round bales, yes, but for the square bales, at least my buddy's ranch, his ranch was smaller, and so it was hard to get the tractors in there. So we just basically had the truck that had the pallet, and then we would just throw bales onto it, and then from there load it up. But if we were doing it on my ranch, which was like 1,000 acres, we actually had a bale picker. You'd run the bale picker, it stacks them all up, and then when we'd take it to the hay barn and stack them there, then our job was mostly to make sure these things don't fall over.
So the hay bales your body made were also probably manually made, or machine made?
No, they're all machine made. Oh, dude, I don't think you could make a manual square bale, or definitely not a round bale. There's a machine that does that.
Well,
and then from there, it's the loading it up. That's the part you can automate or not. It depends.
No, the reason I'm asking because I do have farmers in the family. Like my grandparents on my mother's side were farmers, as one of our siblings took over the family business. So yeah.
Oh yeah, like it's probably automated now too, right? Because I'm thinking of like this is like the early '90s. I'm thinking of here, because I remember, what is it? I'm thinking here. For our irrigation lines, we had a couple wheel lines, and a wheel line just means like the pipes are on wheels, and so there's a motor that can move them forward or backwards, so you water all the stuff evenly. But a lot of our fields, we still had hand lines, so we had to literally every day drain the pipes, pick the pipes up, move them 15 feet forward, reconnect the pipes, fill them back up, or charge them back up, and then run the things again. I hated that job so much, man. I was in the swamp field, so like every morning I had to wear my big Husqvarna boots, go out into the middle of the swamp field, move hundreds of feet of aluminum pipes, 15 feet. It was like Sisyphus. It was exactly like Sisyphus. I don't miss that shit at all.
Talking about the irrigation stuff.
Yeah.
Dude,
I hated that. You
My
smelled like a
wife's
swamp when you got home, and the stink wouldn't come off. It was there.
My wife's uncle was riding a 4-wheeler, and went like up under the irrigation lines,
Yeah.
and he hit a bump, and you know the little, on your baseball caps, like the little metal piece on top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The little pin, the dot or whatever.
Yeah, well, it knocked him into the irrigation line, and that little part of the cap knocked down into his scalp, and then it pulled his scalp back. It ripped it like
Ooh.
open.
Oh,
God damn.
Yeah, rough.
That must have been bleeding profusely.
I'm sure. I didn't see it. That was before we started dating. And then he's the one that just lost an eyeball like last year. I had that cow jump and squish his eye and squish his head and pop his eyeball out.
oh man, the life's just not made for some people. Damn.
Their whole family, like, they're all like having to get hip replacements and knee replacements and crap. Like,
Really?
her dad used to be like 6'3" or 6'4", and now like he's like my height, and I'm like, I hadn't really picked on him yet about it, but yeah, he's drunk.
My buddy's dad had that too. The one where, yeah, you like lose height over time just because you get the compacting of all your joints and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went from like 6 foot to 5'10". That was funny.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I felt bad for him, but it was just funny because his kids are just huge, monstrous people.
Yeah.
And then you see, and like, why is your dad so short? It's like, he's not actually. It's just, he's not.
Good one.
Yeah,
He's just like an accordion. He's just like squeezed down.
Yeah.
Her granddad was like 6'7", and then he wound up shrinking on down. A good bit, a few inches.
So each, what do we call it, vertebral disc that has the liquid in it, the gel type of thing, is about 9 millimeters thick. And it doesn't get compressed with age, or people who have arthritis have none at all.
Mm-hmm.
So they do shrink actually 9 millimeters. Like my own mother has 3 of those discs that are gone, and you can see it in her medical file. She's actually shrunk the same amount as the discs that are gone.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Well, but she's at the age as well, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, because you're old doesn't mean you're old. You deserve to have a compacted spine. Like, oh, it just
No.
I don't know.
I mean, it's more accepted with older people.
Yeah, I get it.
Put it that way.
Like my dogs with no teeth, they're old. That's what they're supposed to do. Oh, I don't have any. Oh, I gotta make a trip now.
Well, despite having no teeth, they're still good enough that they can bite off your finger.
Dude, my thumb has finally grown back after he bit off my damn thumb, and the very tip of it, for some reason, it just keeps cracking right at the end. So it's like almost about to get fully better, and then the piece will crack, and then I have to wait for that to grow out again. It's been like the longest year of my life just to have like 9 normal fingernails.
Yeah, no. I had a friend who had the same thing, but with him it wasn't because of a dog. It was his own damn fault. He was cleaving some wood with a manual cleaver, where you have this weight on the stick, but it was a bit careless, and he slammed it on the end of his finger and just squished the entire finger. And he had the same thing. And the doctor told him, "You're actually very lucky because they call it a different type of thing. They look at what they describe as the granulate of your meat of your fingers."
That's the part that the nail grows out of, right?
No, that's the nail root. Apparently, he's talking specifically about the meat of the finger itself, of the muscle.
Oh, okay.
It needs to have a certain type of granular structure for it to be grown properly.
Okay.
And that might be the thing that might be wrong, or has difficulty with in your case.
So he almost lost that too?
Yeah, this is what I understood from him. Like, I'm not the doctor, I didn't talk to the doctor, but it's what he told me. My friend told me. So.
Yeah, getting crippled. I don't like being crippled at all. I don't like other people who like it. It's like the cauliflower ear thing. You know how a lot of the wrestlers love doing cauliflower ear to make them look badass? I'm like, why not just not do that? People will think you're badass when you pile drive them through a cement wall. You don't have to like, I hate my own face. What do you think I care about yours? Like, I don't know, man.
Apparently, simply blood that heaps up, and gets coagulated. Gets stuck in there. That's what cauliflower is apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I've had it. Well, I almost had it. The part of your ear, like the skin part, separates from the collagen, and then that part pools with blood, and then that blood piece will calcify, and that's what happens. So if you get like an impact on your ear that separates the skin, you're supposed to put on a pressure bandage. It like pinches it. It looks like it's a paper clip, or not a paper clip, like a bulldog clip, but it's for your ear. And as long as you keep that together, it'll heal over again, and you got to drain the blood out. I actually had to. The doc didn't want to do it for me, and I'm like, just drain it. He goes, well, yeah, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, dude, if you don't drain it, I'm getting cauliflower ear. Just do it. And he goes, all right, then. And the blood was like very old blood, so it was like on its process already starting, so I almost got cauliflower ear. And it wasn't even like I was like a great MMA fighter or anything. I was just sparring with friends, and I always, because I was heavier, they always lump me in with like the 250-pound guys, and they're clumsy as hell. Like beginners have no business being 250 pounds plus, because they'll fall on you and crack a rib. It's not fun.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, all these light guys are dancing around each other, pulling all this craziness.
I know that all too well.
Well, you're the big clumsy one, or you're the one that got crushed by the big clumsy one?
I'm the big one, but I'm somewhere in between.
Fair enough. So I need to get...
But I knew there were a couple of guys when I was doing Krav Maga who were the nimble ones. They were like little monkeys. But
wait a minute, Krav Maga, isn't that the Jewish martial art?
It's not even a martial art. It was developed by the military, for God's sake.
That's a joke. Didn't you know anti-Semitism is all the cool kids are doing it now?
Yeah, but it's because it's fairly young. Like it's a young discipline, let's say.
Well, yeah, they only started it in what, the 70s or something like that, 60s, 70s, or
yeah,
40s.
The original creator died somewhere in the last decade or something. So, and the people that were under them are still alive. So it's like it isn't that old. So there are still various branches being created and different. Like it's 4 students who were underneath the main guy who developed it.
Yeah.
They kind of all went their separate ways because of a difference in approach when the teacher died.
Huh.
So it already spread out. There are already 4 branches in the entire world who have their different approaches from the guys who were underneath the main guy who created it. That's how young it is.
Fair enough. It's like Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah.
Half the guys are still alive. I think if you want to make a really good martial art, you really have to die just before it gets popular, so you can have like a legend surrounding you.
Well, it's not even that. Krav Maga is not even a martial art. It's basically it's combat. It's developed purely for combat, and there has been.
That's every martial art, though. Everything was developed for combat. Even capoeira, the dancing one. That's because they weren't allowed to train for combat, so they had to pretend it was dancing to hide from like the Portuguese or whatever. So like every martial art starts as a combat.
Yeah, but the difference is because with Krav Maga there are basically no rules. Everything goes.
Yeah.
That's why it will never be recognized as a sport or a martial art, because nothing is prohibited. Everything goes.
UFC used to have that too, and then they had no fish hooks and no groin kicks, and now everything starts that way. You know, I'm saying I hope it sticks to that. I really do, but it's like it's even like the red pill stuff. Eventually, you're gonna have to make a choice on being popular or being pure, and for some reason, the popular always wins out. That's why Myron is huge, and I'm just a nobody. I'm not mad. Just is what it is.
You're not a nobody. You're somebody.
Aw, thanks, man.
Look in the mirror, and be like, I'm good enough. I'm smart.
God damn it, people like me.
What is that called again? What's that called again, Marty? That self-hypnosis type of thing. Come on, John MLD likes to do it.
Self-affirmations.
Yeah, self-affirmations.
Oh yeah, right. NLP stuff. Yeah.
I always hated that stuff, man. The whole, like, do I really need to hype myself up every day? Like, can't I just get work done and stop worrying about how I feel about it?
Yeah, how bad is life?
What was the guy that made a really popular Anthony Robbins?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
Tony
power
Robbins?
of positivity.
Oh no, that
Yeah.
was the book. That was like from the 20s or something. Power of positive thinking or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Trying to
like
wonder if
reading
there was like
stuff-
some ancient Greek guy who was doing that and we just didn't know about it because his stuff was lost over time. How funny would that be?
Probably.
Well, there
Would
is like the ancient, what do they call hermetic ancient hermetic prophecies. I don't know, something. Anyways, this old guy from like 3,000 years ago. Like all of the stuff now is from that guy. Pretty
Really?
much. Yeah.
Are you kidding me, Marty? 3,000 years ago. I
Yeah.
was there. I was there
That's
again.
it. I saw it.
The,
Yeah, I
the
did it
Myron
from,
Gaines of ancient Greece.
What it is when I did my remote viewing that the CIA taught me, and I went back in time and envisioned it and saw it. Yeah. I'm a remote viewer.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be a CIA asset, you might as well go hard, right?
Yep.
By the way,
Speaking of
Marty,
which,
I was-
have you guys seen this guy online? I think Ian Carroll, I think is his name. You know who I'm talking
Oh,
about?
Yeah, the Jay hater, the kind of guy.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory guy. Yeah.
I'm convinced he's an asset. There's no way. Or he's like funded by somebody. Because like I remember 6 months ago, I didn't know who he was. He was nobody. And then all of a sudden on YouTube, he did that thing about the Las Vegas shooting. He was doing TikToks on it. And
Yeah.
then he became a thing. And now all of a sudden he's got 2 million viewers on X. And all the conspiracy guys, even they're like, no, man, you've got to be a secret Jew. But the way he talks, it's got like a Daily Wire vibe to it, where it's like, how much of a shit post can I get before it's a Fed post?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like hoping somebody would be like, oh, actually, he's been a big thing in the 80s and 90s. You just didn't hear of him back then. But nobody's got any of those stories.
Right. He blew up quick because I remember seeing his stuff on TikTok like a year ago, just
Yeah.
randomly, and it was the main thing. He started out like being anti-corporate stuff. He would show you in the grocery store how everything is owned by corporations and everything goes back to BlackRock and blah blah blah, and then it slowly turned down the Jew road.
I noticed that. What was this thing where it was how did he word it? It was something about the Gaza Strip and America going in there would be the best. And he started and I was like, once he starts going in that, like all of a sudden very clear aims about the Palestinian solution. I'm just like, oh well, that's another one. Haktua 2.0.
Oh no, when's this meme coin coming out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's back too. He's doing her apology to her right now. I didn't know. I didn't want anything bad to happen. I feel so bad about this. I was like, oh,
You
got it, sir.
Didn't she wind up in jail?
I don't know if it's like I don't know the legal thing of it, but I just know a lot of people are mad because she rug pulled. Well, her handlers rug pulled everybody, and now she's the face of it.
Yep.
But she had no idea because she's just a girl. Hee.
No agency.
Mm-hmm.
Those meme coins are funny. My favorite meme coin is black people don't recycle.
Wait, what? That's a real coin?
That's a real coin.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, in the
Roll.
chat, Dante. Good to see you, sir. 125 pesos. You don't need 100 true fans. You just need the Rawr squad. Love you too, man. That's awesome.
It's too funny, man. Too funny.
Yeah.
Not Dante super chat was Marty just mentioned.
Oh, the meme coin thing. I know. It's just like, and I get it. It's just gambling. It reminds me of the old EVE Online games I used to play where it's like, hey, if you give me 1 ISK, I'll send you 5. If you give me 5 ISK, I'll send you 10. And it was like this game of chicken. Because once the guy got enough, he would just take your money and leave. But if he thought he could rope you for another round, you could just take his money and leave. And so it was like this weird zero-sum gambling simulation thing. I don't know how to describe it. And that's all I can see when I see meme coins now is EVE Online scams.
Basically, the oldest trick in the book, just in a new jacket.
Yeah. Which I really do think if anybody wants to deal with like online business, they really do need to play EVE Online for like a year. Because that is just, oh my god, it's the most... They actually have an economist on staff to deal with things. And the amount of scams that they've had banking scams, like when the Celsius scam, I was like, why did I not pay attention to this? Because it's exactly the same as every other banking scam that EVE Online had. How do I get out of here? I'm already lost. I'm gonna die.
Where are you at?
I don't know.
Just don't die.
Yes.
Oh,
Eventually,
Because you
one of these
haven't-
things will have some water to get to the surface.
Because you haven't put up the map yet. God damn you.
There's no map for the underground. I'm in the caves.
No, not that map. The map on.
It's up.
Come on. Ooh,
Dynamap's up.
I left a map of my Nazi bunker.
Fucking
Can't help but keep bringing that up.
Where's the link?
Wonderful.
It's rhinestone.com/minosphere.
Also, if you use the old link in the Minosphere connection, it should work as well.
Yeah, it should work. Everything. It's just a 301 redirect. So if the map location changes, it just update. I just update that. But I was just there. I saw somebody's big dragon on the south side of the map, which I assume is yours.
Yes. Yes. It's,
Dude, how do I-
It's the Nazgul on his fell beast.
Right. Nazgul.
From Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I know it. I know. It's just funny. I like playing ignorant to Lord of the Rings stuff. What now?
To piss off Jack again.
Might as
That's
well.
Oh, yeah.
How am I gonna get out of here?
Ooh, Ryan, you're almost dead. Ooh.
I know I'm almost dead. I could just cheat it and just teleport to the top, but I kind of want to do this legit.
Well, how many people do want to bet that Ryan's gonna lose everything in the next 10 minutes?
You need to have faith, sir. All I see is one water. If I can get another water spout that goes to the surface, I'll be fine. Or just maybe. Just don't run. Don't fall. If I had a bucket, it would have made this job a little bit easier too. Saying, did I just do a circle?
Well, luckily, the mob switch is working. Otherwise, you probably would have been dead already.
Oh yeah, I would have been. Oh, that did it. Where in the hell is that even going to be? You know what? Good.
Ryan, I have a recovery compass.
Yeah.
What do you want to use? Oh, but it doesn't work on the deep. It only works north, south, west, east. That's right. Oh, too funny.
Now we get to go on the quest to see where in the hell any of that was. Alright, so I went to here. This way. Up there. Remember this lava lake. Then I traveled through... I remember that. Oh, I was right near it! Oh, I didn't even have to cheat. I could have just walked it. I feel so bad now. Oh, whatever.
Talking about a quest, there's a beautiful little quaint town down here in Alabama, and I think it's the only town that has the mail delivered by boat. Like every house is on the water, and they and the mail's delivered by boat.
Really?
Pretty cool. Yeah. It's Magnolia Springs. It's right near Fairhope, which is
That is quaint, man.
a fancy spot. Oh yeah.
Do they never have
Here's the
delivery
question. Did
problems?
I get all my stuff or did I lose anything? I think I'm good.
Do you have any delivery problems, Marty?
As far as I know, not. I reckon they got a backup boat, maybe, or maybe in a hurricanes they might not deliver.
And otherwise,
yeah,
they
how
can
is-
always swim. They can always swim to shore.
Yeah. How is everybody doing post hurricane or was it hurricane or mudslides? Like after all that stuff, it's like is America kind
the
of
big
back?
thing, I guess so. Well, I mean, the big thing here was like the snowstorm blizzard. Actually, what's crazy is the Gulf Coast, like North Florida.
Yeah.
I think they had like Pensacola, Florida had like 11 inches of snow, which is like way over the record. I think maybe like half inch was the record before that.
Huh.
But,
But no, what was that natural disaster? Not the California fire one.
yeah, that's the
What
main
state
thing.
was
I mean,
that?
we've had some hurricanes, but I mean, not real.
No, not
Hey,
your
that's
one. The
North-
big one,
North
the national
Carolina.
disaster one.
Yeah, the North Carolina where it went and flooded up there.
Yeah, are they kind of
Over.
getting back to form or?
No, well, I mean, it hadn't until about a week ago when Trump sent in the Army, the Corps of Engineers, and they're cleaning up everything and rebuilding the roads. But yeah, Biden had just said, F y'all were on your own. So, I mean,
Wait,
and
he only
people
just
still,
sent in the Army Corps of Engineers to help rebuild?
yeah,
Jesus.
Trump did. Yeah, finally, like months later.
That's
'Cause, I
insane.
mean, so many roads that are just not even passable, and people are just, I don't know what people do. They have to ride a four-wheeler to go to work.
I guess they just,
What?
warm themselves with the knowledge that Ukraine has a chance to beat the Russians.
Exactly. Oh, well, it must be nice to get billions of dollars.
Like there was
Oh,
this
right.
old meme. I want to say it was like from Fox something comics, but it was a bunch of Muslims dressed in their gear with like bombs being dropped from planes, but the bombs were all colored like LGBT flags. And they're sitting there like, looking all poverty, like, oh, I'm just so glad to be part of history.
Yeah.
Cultural
Nice.
enrichment.
By the way, Ryan, whatever happened to the natural disaster that happened? What was it in BC last year? Did everything get back in order, or is it still?
I'm trying to think, what happened in BC?
Well,
Like there was fires, but they have fires every year.
No, but I well, I don't
Oh, is
know
that what you
where it
mean, the
was, but-
wildfires?
No, the one with the immense flooding that even the entire roads were destroyed because of. the
Oh,
immense
and that
flood.
one there. Yeah, like
Oh.
it got rebuilt well enough. It's definitely not where it was. And a lot of people did lose their homes, and it's kind of coming up in the wash, but like definitely not as bad as as North Carolina did with theirs.
Yeah. I thought
But
you were
it's the
talking
same
about
thing with like the
immigration.
interior in BC. Most people don't pay attention to it. And then the only advantage they have is they're such smaller communities that it's not a huge price tag attached, so it is dealable. But those people, dude, they hate the socialists for their like lack of effort in there. I don't know how the one. Well, I know how the one got in. Chinese fucking elected him. And no, I don't
Man,
mean
it-
like the race. I mean like literally the Communist Party. They rigged that election good, man. Got to give them credit.
Crazy. Yeah. I can't imagine being like from Alberta and knowing that all the money from whatever your province goes to support the rest of the country, and then they don't send any back to you when you need it. Oh man, that'd make me furious.
Oh, dude, they're so pissed. Yeah, apparently,
Yeah.
a lot of Quebec doesn't even believe it's real. Like, we're not getting all these federal transfer payments. Like, yeah, you are. That's the big rub. But there's this one channel that I watch on YouTube, Celtic Canuck, and they kind of hit it on the nose when they were talking about that, where like the system as it is isn't working, and yeah, blah blah blah. So what happened when Pierre had a chance to actually say, like, I hear you, I understand, we're gonna have to fix things? He's like, yeah, we're not touching federal transfer payment. And so right there, Alberta, who's been like his biggest supporter, feels like they were betrayed.
Oh man, yeah, F y'all.
Yeah.
And
And so it's as the longer we go on, the more he just doesn't do the things he's supposed to do, and it's pissing a lot of people off, and they're realizing. So he's losing a bunch of his support. Like, he'll probably still win, but it went from like that landslide victory that haven't seen since the '82 to like, yeah, you might do a little bit. Because if it's business as usual, I have a feeling Alberta's really going to make an effort to separate.
Dude, Trump
Even
should go in and
Peterson,
be
man,
like,
he's like, you have to offer Alberta more than what Canada is, America. And what's Canada offering? You can pay us $100 billion a year to subsidize Quebec. And then, by the way, we're not going to let you build any pipelines for your one
God.
resource that you can get out of here with. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not liking that at all.
Dude, Trump could be like, draw a line and be like, here we're the West half of Canada. Like, come on,
Yeah.
here you go. And they would come on, wouldn't they?
Because we were never, like, Canada's always been kind of a very, one sec, I have to do counts as I'm doing here. It's not held together the way America is. Like, we didn't have a civil war to ensure that, like, secession's not a thing. We didn't have the forged in war 13 colonies. We largely had to pay the French to stay. We pay off the natives to keep them from rebelling. And the western provinces are there to, like, enrich the eastern provinces. That's kind of the way the whole place was designed and built up from the ground. That's like I actually have some old stuff. I have to go look if I want to start doing history, which I probably shouldn't, because that'll be the most boring subject ever for any of my channels. And it was great while everything was like industrializing, and it's great while everything was doing well, and the internet kind of held things off because we have huge productivity, but now we're kind of flatlining. And so all these little issues are bubbling up now, and it's just a matter of time until something sets them off.
Gee, I wonder what could set them off. 25% tariffs.
Oh, so, man, they didn't even do them. I'm like, I get Trump was just doing that to scare us straight, which it kind of worked.
I think he'll come back and do some because he did a 30-day pause, so he's going to wind up doing something. Yeah.
God, I hope so.
Dude,
That's what we
Elon
needed.
Musk-
We so bad. Like all of these, some of the most arrogant people I've ever met are the ones that think of Canada as like a first world country. They don't realize like we always used to feel so sad for Japan for having that lost decade. It's like, dude, what do you think we just had? Canada's lost decade, man, the last 10 years.
Wow.
Anyways, this is a Debbie Downer topic. Let's talk about tits or something. Let's make it more fun.
Let's talk about big balls. How about that?
You know what? At this point, I'll take it. All right, Marty, you got the conch, piggy. Let's hear about them balls.
Let's go. Oh, did you ever hear the song? I got the Christmas balls. I got the great big Christmas balls. Paint them up like Santa Claus.
Funny enough, hasn't come up before.
It's a country song. I think George Strait actually sings it. Yeah, look at that Christmas balls. I think it's great. But yeah, Elon did a poll. He's like, bring back the Doge staffer who made inappropriate statements via now deleted pseudonym. And it's like yes or no, and yes was like 80%. So
awesome.
He's probably gonna he'll bring back big balls, and then they'll just have a meltdown. It's beautiful.
I hope so, because that's like such a 2016 cancel culture thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guy made bad tweets. Like, dude, you guys don't understand how much of like a mandate you have. People don't even care.
And the thing was, the kid was probably like 15 when he did them too. So
yeah. Well, even if he means them, it's like, who cares? He's there to do that job. As long as he roots out the waste, he can say whatever he wants to about the whoever's. There we go.
It just kills me that the Democrats wouldn't have like probably won anything the last 20 years if they hadn't had everything paid for. And like, you just think of all the like fake riots and everything, and Black Lives Matter, everything's been paid, because I think $50 billion a year. What all could that go to?
Yeah. Every conspiracy theory about these people are feds, or it's all true.
Yeah,
all of it.
It is.
And not even just in the States. CBC, like BBC, British broadcaster, funded by US aid. I'm positive there's a lot more Canadian stuff that I didn't know about that's probably funded that way too.
Oh yeah, yep. Dude, I don't know why that sticks out in my head. I can't help but think. Remember when you magically had like pallets full of bricks showing up like for these riots?
Yeah.
And
you think those were?
Like, I'm thinking my tax money went to buy bricks to throw at like buildings and cops.
It's broken window theory, man. It's perfect economics.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's it. Dude, that's like the guy that with a tire store that goes like down the road throwing out nails.
Yeah. Oh, business is gonna boom.
Yeah, baby.
There we go.
Booming like these tires popping off.
I have a cure. No, I just need the disease.
Yep.
Plus, it's such like a simple method. Just unplug the cable and see what turns off. Like, really? Holy crap, it works.
You laugh, but I've had to do it a couple of times with the job. So
yeah.
Fuck it.
Well, that's why I find it so funny, because like it's so effective. It's just so simple. Just stop paying this thing. Who gets mad? Oh.
Have you tried unplugging and plugging it back in?
Yeah.
The Democrat Party, unplug it.
And then of course our stupid idiot, the Carney guy. What the hell? The guy I was telling you before, who's like the central banker. He doubled down. He had a press conference. Don't worry, Canada's not giving up woke anytime soon. And I was like, fuck you, you son of a bitch.
You bastard.
And Marty, you laugh with the plug it in and plug it out again. But we had it a couple of times. Clients call, yeah, the machine isn't working, it isn't turning on.
Yeah.
But is it plugged in into the socket? Is it plugged in? Yeah, it's plugged in. Just checked. They checked, but if check the other side if it was plugged into the machine, and it was plugged into the machine.
Oh no.
Plugged in the sockets, and you have to drive 2 hours simply to plug in a machine. God damn it.
4 hours for one plug.
Fine.
It happens. It happens a lot.
I bet. We got an idea for a corny meme. Do the Austin Powers, like the only two things I don't like in this world is Dutch and carnies. And then you have a picture of Carney there.
The problem is I don't even want to make fun of him. Because, like, first off, nobody knows who he is other than, like, a very small percentage of Canadians. And secondly, it's just kind of like, it kind of humanizes him to make fun of him, makes him into a person, and I kind of just want to hear, like, a Luigi, like, I don't, look, I am not condoning political violence in any of its forms, I'm going to say that right now. Having said that, if it happens, I'm not saying I wouldn't be happy.
Right.
I don't know how else to word this and not get demonetized or canceled or whatever you're supposed to do nowadays.
It would be terrible, but I would be happy.
What a horrible shame that would be.
Dude, I saw the best Valentine's Day card. It's got a picture of Luigi on it, you know, and it's got the, you know, from me to you, and it says, "Are you a CEO? Because I'd love to take you out." That's pretty good.
That actually is pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
What did I need that for? I went down to get that clay. Why did I want it?
Terracotta? Bricks?
Maybe I'm just stupid.
All your brain cells have been put into work for writing. Put to work for writing.
Yeah. Gratuitous tits just because it's awesome. FGR. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, I love it. Every now and then I'll like notice the Orion channel just hits like a spike. Sniper's taken off. Super happy about that.
I need to watch that.
The movie or the
movie
review?
and your thing, both. I watched the movie. I mean, I'm pretty sure like 30 years ago or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, I realized like as I'm doing these videos now, there was a ton of, and I can only call them action melodramas because they kind of are. A lot of dialogue and stuff, but they were like good. All of them were good. I just realized like, dude, I can sit here and watch this for 90 minutes. Like the characters have motivations, they do their thing. I kind of root for them at the end. Even though it's just the sniper one. Shoots one guy, goes crazy, gets saved. One bullet, one kill. Like they torture him by driving a corkscrew through his finger, his sniping finger, and then he's got to shoot to save his buddy with the other hand. And I'm like, oh man.
Oh.
And then I go and I'd look at like how the reviews went when they came out. It's like, oh, another piece of shit coming out. And I just realized like we didn't know how good we had it. Like I did one for The Substitute. It's ready. It's coming out Sunday.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, and I saw Siskel and Ebert had on their blog the review, but he's like, I hate this movie. This movie's shit. It's the same thing. I know exactly how it's gonna happen. And I look at it now, I'm like, dude, if you put this out now, this would be like a worldwide sensation. And back then there was so many of them. We're like, I'm tired of winning. Tired of showing me things I like.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, was it? But there's a multitude of them. Not always with the same main character, but Substitute 1, 2, 3, I think even a fourth one.
Yeah, well, it's like Heroes. Like, they're pulpy. They're supposed to be similar. That's the comfort of them. But the similar thing is at least competent. And the part I love the best too is I noticed when the Substitute, like I didn't notice it at the time, but I noticed now. You remember how many schools movies there were where like the white guy goes into inner city schools and then they teach him about the horrors of racism and he teaches them that learning is fun. And then it's like an embarrassing indictment about civil rights or whatever. This is like, you know what? Let's take that, but let's put like mercenaries in there.
Oh god.
Like on the first day, he like beats the shit out of two kids who are trying to shank him. And the teachers get mad. They're like, we're going to have to let you go. You're not allowed to assault the students like that. He's like, they tried to stab me with a knife. And then the kid's like, wow, he's cool. He's got street cred because he's got that guy with the shift. So they start listening to him talking about Shakespeare and stories about Vietnam and stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is how you save the inner city schools. Tom Berenger.
Yeah. We need a bunch of army of Tom Berengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
Is that the one where like they throw something at him and he turns around and catches it like before it hits him?
Yes. I love that part. I put that into the trailer and everything. Yeah, where the kids think it's funny because he's sitting there and he's typing, and then you see in his eyes he's got like that Vietnam thing. They throw the can at his head, he grabs it, crunches it, whips it at the other guy's head. Then he starts going into a speech about Nam. He's like, in Vietnam, you had to have eyes in the back of your head. You had to see everything. He's looking at them like he's having a flashback. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
Wonderful.
But you do have a point when it came to those movies that were set in the high schools, but in the rougher parts.
Yeah.
But like even Sister Act was like that.
Exactly. And they were all the same, and they were all stupid. And this one's like, it was like such a nice, what do they call it? What's that thing the woke people say? The version of expectations or whatever. Yeah, how about this? Except for he just murks the guy. That's not bad.
And then you had the stupid Dangerous Minds, or was that it?
Dangerous Minds, yeah. Dangerous Minds.
Yeah.
There was the Spanish one with Lou Diamond Phillips. Stand and Deliver or Stand and Conquer.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Oh man.
Hold on a second.
Maybe,
But everybody knows Dangerous Minds because of the Coolio song.
Yeah.
Gangster's Paradise.
Was it Stand and Deliver? Oh, it is Stand and Deliver. Yeah, with Jeff Almos and Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah, same movie. But there's like 15 of these ones. Stand and Deliver.
Dude, the Coolio one, that brings back just a beautiful memory when I was growing up.
Oh, I'll bet.
It was before that movie came out. It was, Coolio was already a thing, and so anyways, we were in the big city close to us, and my brother had bought a tape, and I don't know why my mom let him buy it. Anyway, she's like, okay, let's see what's on this thing. Anyways, he bought like a Coolio cassette tape, and he put it in the Oldsmobile. I was in the back seat just laughing my ass off because it was that song Ride, Slippery Slide or something.
Oh yeah.
Of course, just all just cussing and just whatever, tits and hoes and whatever else. And just the horror on my mom's face was just so glorious.
Which is funny too, because out of all like the rap songs out there, that one's the most like fun, wholesome of all the ones I could think of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, she skipped through them all, so some of them were just terrible. But yeah, it was just so funny.
That is funny. You're not bringing this trash into my house.
Yeah.
And she'll always like mistake the names of something, like with your NWO and like it's NWA. I don't give a damn.
Dude, the first CD I ever bought was Green Day Dookie, which that was probably their only CD I ever
one of
bought.
those.
There's some losers now, but yeah, I enjoyed that one. And I was playing it in my room, and my dad comes in, and my dad's the old school racist back then, which I mean he's better now, but it was more popular in the 90s.
He's better at being a racist now, or he's less of one now?
Both.
He's refined it. He comes up with new slurs, and his goal is to make him popular.
But anyways, like he walks by and he said, what's that in music you listening to? And I was like, this is Green Day. I was like, this is like kind of punk. I was like, what the hell?
They're Californians, Dad. They're pretending to be British. I don't care.
Dude, that killed me. Like him and his stupid British trying to sound.
Yeah.
Well,
wasn't that the thing? Everybody wanted to be the Ramones.
I guess. Yeah.
Or the Sex Pistols, but like family friendly. It's like Sex Pistols, only without the heroin addiction. Well, what's the point then?
Yeah.
Like saying country music minus the alcohol. It's like, well, great. Like gospel without Jesus. Gangster rap without P. Diddy's dick.
Oh God.
That's the biggest black pill of my life is finding out that all the hardcore gangster gang rap and war, everybody was just like a theater kid, homosexual, and it was like, great.
Dude, the worst video is the one of Tupac where he's just like flaming gay, like 17 years old, talking about how him and his mom are just alike and they're divas and whatever, dramatic. And
and he loves women. He can't believe these guys disrespect the females. See, I remember too, they used to show that one back in the early days of the internet, but the idea was this was him as a kid, and then the women got to him, and then he turns into the gangster guy. So at the time, we just thought that he got his heart broke, and that turned him hard, until we realized, no, he was just gay and you had to pull an Andrew Tate. You're like, fuck.
It was acting. Yep.
He was looking for Hulk Hogan with a pussy.
I guess Hulk Hogan with the pussy wins in the end.
No, he wanted the dick.
Oh, I remember what I wanted now. I wanted to make those hardened bricks that I just had there, but I don't. Oh, there we go. I don't remember how the recipe works.
Smelt it.
No, it's something with hay. Hay and maybe it's you know what it is? I think it's the mud blocks, not the actual clay. I don't know why I did that. I just wasted my time. Yeah, that's it. Packed mud. That's what I want.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll figure this out. It just took me a while. We're almost out of time. I've done like absolutely nothing this hour, but that's fine. It's mostly about the friends you make along the way, right, guys?
Sure, if you say so.
I had some fun with Minecraft 1.7.10, looking into the original Lord of the Rings mod. God damn, that thing is woo-wee.
Really?
At least the builds. Like I had to look for some inspiration. I wanted to add a stable and a couple of other things to Barad-dûr. And the 1.16 version doesn't have nearly as much stuff as the 1.7 version. It has, when you get into the creative mode, you can type in the commands that give you basically structure blocks. And when you put those down, it spawns an entire village or an entire building all at once.
Oh yeah, I remember the structure block. I remember they started those and they were setting it up, but it just nothing ever came of it.
I know, but it's great if you're looking for inspiration for builds. Like you just type in the command and the structure block you want, and then just throw it down, and it spawns a thing.
Nice. Yeah, there's this one guy. I gotta go find him again. He was on. There's these small channels I follow. One's the Bob Ross of Minecraft, which is funny as a name, and the other one was like Nice, but spelt like the stone. He's like a geologist, and this guy's builds like he made. It's just like a standard tower, which looks pretty cool. But with the way he did with his color theory on the blocks, it made it look like that rainbow pattern you see on like parrots, macaws.
Yeah.
It just looked beautiful. I would love to be able to do something that good on here.
Well, there's enough inspiration out there. Probably like the Minecraft planets. There are probably some things you can download from there and use as a base.
A lot of his time, right?
Yeah, but the only downside was with the with the Lord of the Rings 1.7.10. Only world edit works on that. So like Manaka didn't exist back then.
Right.
And even then you need to put down to make a schematic. And then you need to put that schematic in certain in-between versions, because if you just put in like the recent one, like 1.21.4, it won't work. It will spawn nothing at all. You won't see anything at all because the difference is too much. You need to also first put the schematic in an in-between version, take that schematic, and then you can place it in the 1.21.4 version.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm trying to avoid schematics lately. Like, I had fun with them. Dave and I did some fun builds on that, but I don't know, the freeballing it. I want to get better at freeballing it. It kind of forces me to think on a smaller scale. So with schematics, you can build just giant stuff.
Oh, that's what I'm doing right now. And it saves time on work. Like if you don't have time or you're not a creative like I am, you can just take somebody else's thing and copy it. Sometimes it does take a bit of work. Like I found out with the older versions, you couldn't generate render as many chunks as you can do now.
Mm-hmm.
So the schematic, when you were trying to save it, would always say, these blocks aren't loaded. And we simply had to do was go around the entire structure that you want to take the schematic from, so that every block could be loaded in. And once that was done, it was finally saved. It's like, oh, this is how it goes.
Sounds like a slog, sir. Major slog.
It kinda is, I'm not gonna lie. It is.
It's like everything. You know what would have made this a lot easier if like 100,000 of your guys' friends would have watched my Minosphere videos. Then I wouldn't have to worry about the books or anything. I could just do Minecraft scripts all day, making videos all day.
Yeah,
But in all
like
your
you
fanciness, you guys decided to not want to watch. So now I'm stuck here writing books and working for a living.
Well,
Tons of
to be
bitches.
fair, the Minecraft space on YouTube is
Saturated?
saturated beyond belief.
Yeah, and I'm noticing they did a big push for international audiences too. Like I've been looking through like what are the biggest growing YouTube channels, and for the last 5 years, every single one has either been South Korean or Indian. There's a couple coming out of China, but for the most part, like the Western audiences have kind of been either abandoned or just not focused on.
Well,
And I'm
yeah,
not sure
but
how to
see,
process that. Like, how does that affect what I do moving forward? And it's one of those things I got to figure out.
Yeah, but you're right. I've seen a lot of quick build shorts on YouTube from the Korean, Japanese, Chinese
Yeah.
creators.
And if they think I'm going to start doing these like giant 200-hour builds for a 30-second short, they got another thing coming. I'm not wasting my life on that. They don't pay nearly enough for shorts for that bullshit.
Oh yeah, like those time lapse, one of those huge ass builds. Woo-wee.
Yeah. And I get it. If you're just a teenager and you got nothing else to do, it makes sense. But
No, no, when I hear their voices, I'm thinking these guys are in their 30s or something at least. Don't,
Maybe.
peeping teenage voices.
I guess I'll have to see what the I guess I'll have to see how the economics of it work. But now that I know the economics, it's just like get the Democrats to support you through USA. Dude, Vaush, Hassan, like all of these like big time, like Destiny, all them, they were all AstroTurf this whole time. All these fights, all this DHS hit list, Rolo stuff, all of it was just fake. All of it.
Oh yeah, everything. Just think ever since Obama, like all of the stuff that's. Imagine how it would have been if they hadn't had all the billions of dollars going to all these. You wouldn't have all this trans stuff being so popular. All of the Black Lives Matter, just everybody all up in arms and rioting and stuff. None of that.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, what would the landscape look like? Maybe the red pill stuff was the most amazing thing since sliced bread. Maybe the only reason it got any clout was because it's a pushback to this nonsense.
Right. Yeah.
They're all on the take. They're all on the take. Where's the little black book? I need it.
Yeah, but it's like a market distortion, right? So, like, now, depending on how this plays out, what people actually want to watch could be completely different than what it actually is. Now I have to wonder, like, what's going to be the cool thing now? What is it that I have that might be popular now that they've taken the thumb off the scale? I don't know. I'm hoping it's fiction. I'm hoping it's the literature. I hope the dog walker is like, dude, this is what I've been waiting for. A guy buying a duvet cover getting laid. Like, you know what I mean? Which, now that I say it that way, I'm pretty sure it's not it, but whatever.
I just picture, what's a duvet? Yeah.
Or you could explore OnlyFans again together with mine. Why more, please?
Dude, if they didn't have like the stigma attached to being an OnlyFans site, it really is like an awesome platform. It really is. Hey, Molten's back. Hey, long time no see.
Did you hear where they took down the video of whatever the 1,000 guys video because of I guess supposedly they couldn't like assure that everybody was of age, I guess, or something,
Oh.
The Lily Phillips girl.
So
Yeah.
that's where it was. I was wondering, I'm like, where is this thing even? Like, I don't want to watch it, but I'm just like, where do they put it? Where do they monetize it? Because all I've ever seen was her crying video about it.
I don't want to
OnlyFans
watch
makes
it,
sense now.
but I could picture like putting it on like and then like speeding through it as fast as you could, like 100 times, and it's like, oh dear lord.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after a while, it's got to be boring, you'd think, right?
Oh, no.
Like, by the 300th, you're like, all right, I get it. Let me guess. Triple
Thanks,
penetration? All right, I'm over it.
No,
I remember-
it's a water slide.
Jesus. And besides, Luffy's always there if I ever want it. Like, that was the funniest thing. Dude, like, with his whole, like, prostitute thing, it's kind of off-putting, and he's very acerbic, and I get it, but sometimes, man, I'm just like, that's why he's here. And it was like, for every girl crying about the guys that were taking advantage of the poor little porn actress that made them sign waivers, he would, and she's like, look at how bad she feels. This is what they did to her. And right underneath, he would post, like, a GIF of her with like 5 dicks saying, "This is the greatest day of my life." He goes, "Oh yeah, she sounds horrified." Crudest thing ever, but damn, I'm like, oh, love you. Every time I think you're too far gone, you pull shit like this, you bring me back.
Oh man.
What do I want to do? At this point, I'm just playing. We're gonna have to end pretty soon, though. It's lunchtime. I got 10 minutes. Let's do this proper.
Yummy. What's for lunch?
Right. I don't know yet. To be fair, we're eating like Canadians right now. It's horrible. Like, I think my girl's actually making beans so we can do proper like burritos and stuff again. So I've been doing like ham sandwiches, shit like that. I feel so bad.
Poutine every day, maple syrup.
I refuse to eat that Quebec nonsense. There's like a couple Canadian shit posters I follow. One of them brought up, it's like, I refuse to have the Canadian identity be this like slop. I was like, good for him.
Yeah. I know, for y'all to be so snobby and uppity, like you have that slop as like your official food or whatever.
Yeah. And what is it? French fries, a brown, not even a gravy, a brown sauce.
Ooh.
So it's technically a vegetarian thing. I don't think there's any meat in the brown sauce. I could be mistaken though.
Terrible.
And it's not cheese, it's cheese curds.
Oh.
So it's like everything was just kind of half-assed.
There's a guy that brings us cheese curds and chocolate, like fresh dairy milk from Wisconsin, like once or twice a year, like a friend of ours, and it's pretty good. It's,
oh, really?
I mean, it's not, my favorite, but yeah, it's pretty cool. The cheese curds, and then like the best chocolate milk that you've ever had. It comes in a giant gallon glass bottle. Pretty good.
That'd be kind of neat. So is that like the raw milk, the illegal raw milk that they keep arresting the Amish for?
No, it's not, but it's just fresh from a dairy. I think the dairy there just bottles it up in glass, and it's not a huge corporate thing. It's like a local thing.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Very hipster.
You know me.
Well, to be fair, that's what the again, one of the other spheres I kind of follow is like the commentary guys, but like the weird commentary ones, like Catherine D and that. And they're saying hipsters are the original conservatives because they always have like high agreeableness and agreeableness, but very closed community stuff. And it seems like very like all that saving the West type of stuff. It's spiritually the same, which I'm like, I don't know if I buy it, but it sounds fun.
Interesting to think about. Yeah.
But because it kind of makes sense when you think of conservatism or like conserving the environment. That's kind of a conservative thing. Everybody likes to have good hunting grounds.
Yeah.
But then this whole like global climate change thing is kind of like the lefty version of it, and it's just fake and gay.
Fake and gay. That sounds like a title for a good Substack there. Fake and gay.
I could put it up there with my why I love the word it.
Oh.
That was one of my favorite posts, but like nobody noticed it, which I'm fine with because it's like if I end up regretting anything I ever do that comes back to haunt me, it'll probably be that stupid article. All right. I don't know why I decided to go with pink sand, but whatever.
No regrets.
No regrets. I guess I'll top this one off. All right, whatever. We're going to call that one for now. And we'll just chill amongst us. There we go. Yeah, because honestly, like with Red Hawk, when I hear him talking about his stuff, he kind of sounds like an environmentalist, but conservative. He's like, yeah, I'd like the idea to go hunt for moose and not have the population out of whack. I think we need to cull the boar populations in Florida. And I was like, sounds good to me, man. Maybe if we go.
Most are. Yeah, most outdoorsmen. I mean, we're not out there just to blast everything, and who cares, about the environment or the habitat of the animals. I mean, and everything is really done, with that in mind of keeping it, going for years and your grandchildren to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah. Sustainability. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah.
Not only that, if you're one moose or one deer, large deer is enough to feed one person for an entire year.
Not me. I eat a lot.
You're a growing big boy, Marty.
I'll take like a whole pack. It'll be like a pound of deer meat and just cook it and eat it for lunch or whatever.
I
Get
miss that. We used to
protein.
have a whole deep freezer in our house when I was growing up, just because every year we'd always butcher 2 cows and get 4 sides of beef. Give one to the butcher as payment, and then one to like friends and family, and keep 2 for ourselves. I love that. It was just an entire freezer full of beef. Not
Oh
even
yeah.
cheap stuff. It was like there'd be ground beef for the stuff we didn't want, but it'd be like kilogram-sized porterhouse steaks. I used to love porterhouse. I don't know. It's not a popular cut, I don't think. I don't know why. Because for me, it was the greatest thing ever.
Well, it's just that it's so big because the porterhouse is actually what 2 steaks in one. It's like a T-bone and then what fillet or something. I can't remember. But
Well, I thought a
like,
T-bone is the fillet and sirloin, isn't it?
no, I don't think so.
And then there's those tomahawk ones, which I don't even remember what that's supposed to be.
Oh, that's just a ribeye with a bone. It's a
No.
huge, yeah, huge.
All right, you know
bone.
what? If only there was some kind of information resource we could look it up.
That's right.
All right, porterhouse. What is a porterhouse steak? Oh, it is a composite steak. Derived from the point where the tenderloin and the top loin. Okay, so yeah, it's a tenderloin and a top loin together, or New York strip.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
so it
right.
is the two. It's just not the T-bone.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's supposed to be a lot bigger than T-bones. I mean, and that's part of the not being popular because it's so big. So normally not one person, unless you're like from Texas, gets it by itself.
And me as a kid, I didn't even know any better. I was just like, I don't want to make dinner. I don't feel like cooking anything. I'll just grab one of these. Talk about not appreciating what you have until it's gone, huh?
Eat a $50 cut of meat. It's
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh, and not just that too, but it was like gamey because we fed all of ours alfalfa.
Oh,
Not a lot of hay, so it had like a hint of gaminess to it. It was like, if you've had hunted meat, like deer, where
Yeah.
it's gamey, but it's like one of the milder of the gaminesses. It's about half as gamey as that compared to like a store-bought steak.
What's
Okay.
alfalfa?
dude, alfalfa's like the most nutritious. It's not hay, but it's like kind of like that. But it's like the most nutritious thing you can pretty much give.
Yeah,
a cow or a
it's
horse.
I think it's like 13% protein content or something like that.
Yeah, it's really good and expensive, but you don't have to feed as much as like regular hay, too. So I mean, it kind of evens out, I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, we feed the horses alfalfa.
And plus, we take them up to the range. They go up on the mountain on the government land for the spring, summer, and then we'd bring them back at the end of the fall. And I guess it was mostly alfalfa growing up there, so it was just great. So I don't know how it works, but how much you have to pay for it. But yeah, it was just most of the year they just up there and graze off of it. And when they get home, we just have to feed them hay for the winter, and we're good to go.
Yeah. I think used to like just say a bale of hay was like $2 or $3, like a square bale, and then a square bale of alfalfa would be like 4 or 5 times that. I think.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean it cost a lot, but I mean it's really good for them. Like you
I'll
said,
learn
a
something
lot
new
of
every day,
protein.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized, where the hell did I lost the chat. Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys, I lost you guys for a second. Ribeye is my favorite cut. Yeah, me nostalgia, it's the porterhouse. Having said that, I should like filet mignon more than I do. I don't, though. It feels too pretentious.
Why would you need to like filet mignon more?
It's just such a tender cut, and it tastes so good, and it's well cooked. Just every time I ended up at some banker event where they have a whole bunch of like diversity crap going on there, and everybody wearing their $1,000 suits, it was always that was being served there. And
Oh yeah.
I don't know, it make it off-putting for me.
It's good for a change up. I might get it like every few months. I'll get some. It is good, but it doesn't really have it's the main thing is the tenderness. It doesn't have the flavor of the ribeye because it doesn't really have that marbling as
Yeah.
much in there, and the fat, the flavor. But I mean, just because it's so tender, it's good every now and then.
I suppose. Like I said, for me, it's the fanciness. Dude, I hated it. I went down to one for Christmas. I had to be at this. I don't know how I ended up getting an invite there. I always end up at these stupid corporate events that I have no business being at.
Well, your girl, obviously.
Well, some of them are from her. Some of them are from when I used to work in finance, and there I'll get invites from old people still. And we'll be sitting down there in the big 5 banks. They they brought in this native group to do like traditional dances to show respect for the people we took the land from, land acknowledgement crap. And then I was watching the dance, and I'm like, these people aren't doing any fucking dance. They're just hopping around. It looked like ravers in the 90s. And they aren't doing the same dance. It's not rhythmic. And I'm like, I bet you this is just a grift. They're like, yeah, give us money. We'll do the ancient Tecumseh dance. And they're just like, I'll just jump. Fuck whatever. The one girl looked like Filipino. Wasn't even native. I was like, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure these people are being grifted.
Probably.
And it was just so, the whole thing was just so weird. Like, bow your heads for the land acknowledgements. And then they were doing raffles. But it was like a raffle to have. How would you like to have 9 holes of golf with the CEO of Scotiabank or something like that, right? And I was like, holy shit. And they're like going for $10,000, $15,000 a pop. I'm like, I bet they're just trying to sell to all of these guys here a chance at a promotion or to make a pitch to somebody, aren't they? And the whole thing, because I just found the entire event off-putting. So I ended up sitting at the one table with a guy who just kind of happened to be there because he had just been in the industry long enough that he got invited to all this stuff. And he's like, I don't care. I just want to go home. It's like, thank you. You're here. We were talking about like YouTube and stuff like that. How the real estate market is crap. Basically the stuff that no polite person in Toronto talks about. He agreed too. He's like, all they have at these things is filet mignon. I'd rather just eat like a normal steak like a human being. I'm like, me too.
Ryan found a kindred spirits. Oh.
Yeah, it just sucks. He was like 60. I was like, damn it, I'm 20 years older than I'm supposed to be. What the hell? Yeah.
Well, welcome to my life. Like I said, I think I mentioned it before. All my friends are like in their 50s.
Yeah. Speaking of Marty, you'll love this. Speaking of George Jones, then you guys remember that song he did of age 20 years and 5? It's like that, except for his was from drinking and whoring and smoking, and for us it's from COVID. COVID and politics. Of age 30 years and 2. Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Right. Anyways, I should probably go get you guys on some lunch and that. All
Man,
right. So
even
Covert,
doing COVID.
Contract's with me. He likes the ribeyes too. So yeah, we're all in good company here.
Les goûts et les couleurs, on ne discute pas.
What's that about George Jones?
The I've aged 20 years and 5. Do you remember that song or no?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of his big ones. I've aged 20 years and 5. Finally Friday. Bone Dry. Like, I could still remember those songs. I could almost like sing along with them still.
Yeah.
They really are some of the best.
A thing you just all the time.
Oh, and he
hears
stopped
that
loving her
he
today. I mean,
stopped
how could you
loving
not love
her.
that?
That one, I kind of get tired of it. It's all right. But,
Shut up, Marty.
it's a song about a simp.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have a good topic for you. I got to bug Claire. He just sent me voicemails like a boomer. I got to listen to those.
What? Oh boy.